How was that?
Hi.
Hi everyone. We are starting our online and in-person cooking class. I'm Renee from Trunosh and I'm a registered dietitian in Vancouver. Today we're going to make a vegan bubble tea from scratch. We're doing 2 milks. One is an almond milk and one is a oat milk. And then we're also making pearls from scratch, also from tapioca flour. And I have a beautiful black tea given to me by my amazing friend Judy from Chinatown. She's actually leading Chinatown tours, so go visit her at Chinatown Judy. And you can take a look at what she does for the Asian community. This is a charcoal roasted oolong tea, and it's also called tie guan yin. So we're going to use that for our bubble tea. And we have some participants here that they're going to be also joining us in the live, so I'm going to also be instructing them and instructing you guys at the same time. So it's going to be exciting, the very first time I'm doing something like this. So I hope you guys, stay tuned. All right, so because I don't use sugar, I will use monk fruit in my pearls, and then also I'm going to be using 2 different types of monk fruit. So here you can see this is the darker type of monk fruit, and this is the lighter. This is the younger monk fruit. This is more like citrusy and bright in flavor, and this is more like an herbal tea kind of flavor. So you guys can help me open these guys if you want to. Okay, and we're going to go on the back. I have some water in the back boiling, and we actually need a lot of boiling water because we're making the black tea from scratch. We're also making these monk fruit teas from scratch also. So they're kind of cute. They're very light. They're like ping pong balls, I would say, right? Ping pong balls in weight. And they're not very expensive. They're about $1 each, but each of these will make about a liter of tea or kind of water. And you can also put it in the fridge to make iced tea if you like, and it's actually very quick and sweet. You guys will definitely have a chance to taste it. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get a hammer. Well, you don't have to be so dramatic like me, but we are going to break these guys apart. Okay, so it's really easy to kind of just break these apart, and you can use your hands also. And the seeds is actually what gives the sweetness. And then this is also, do you guys want to try?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, you want to try? All right, so there you go.
You want to try too?
No, yeah, you can use this one too. So it's about getting the monk fruit shell to crack open, and then you kind of break apart the seeds, and then you'll just put it in some boiling water. It's about 1 liter to 1 monk fruit, and you'll definitely taste the sweetness. It's kind of like stevia, but it's not as, the aftertaste is not as metallic, I would say. And the darker monk fruit turns your tea black. So because we're actually using the tea to make the pearls, it's actually going to help with bringing the black out. So if you guys know, the black in the pearls is actually made with food coloring. So tapioca flour is white usually, and when you cook it, it becomes clear. So in the bubble tea places you see around, they actually use a food coloring. And this I got at Michael's, and you can also order it online at Amazon. And one of these will last you like a long time. You only need about a quarter teaspoon of this to make like about 4 jars full of black pearls. So we're going to do 2 types. One is just going to be like the white, and then one is going to be the black. And then you guys can choose if you want half black, half white pearls later to take home. Okay, awesome. So I have some water boiling, and we're going to start by making the tea first. So I have a little bit of kettle. All right, so you guys have done the tea. So all the water I have in boil is ready. So I'm just going to add the black one to the front. And then close it. And then you can give me that.
You want the shell as well?
Yeah, we want everything. So this is what looks like in the white one inside, and you can just, it's kind of like a sponge, and then you can just break it apart. And then put it in the boiling water for about 10 minutes, and it's super, super flavorful. We'll get a chance to taste it. And the black tea. So this is a beautiful bamboo container that comes in the tea. I thought that was really awesome. And I'm put it in the teapot. It's a little should go along with this a lot of tea. So let's do this. This is quite strong. You guys okay with some caffeinated black tea?
Yes.
Good.
Sleeping? Yeah.
Yeah. It is quite a nice day, but it is windy, so you want to be on your guard so you get blown away. Okay, so just some water here. We're just going to basically make tea and then add some cold water to it after. I guess I still need a little bit more tea. So tea leaves are not here. That's fine. We are just going to boil some water at the back of my fruit tea. Cool. Okay, so that should be enough to just get the tea leaves going, and then we're going to cool it down because we don't, I mean, unless you guys want hot bubble tea, we don't really want to scorch ourselves with slurping on some warm tea. So I'm just going to put the tea aside, and then we can deal with that in a little bit. All right, so the pearls are actually the last thing we're going to do. It's like super quick, and you guys will be pretty amazed at how fast pearls are. It's more like about making each pearl into a sphere, and that's really, it depends on how many you want in your glass later. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the milks, and we're going to do some oat milk first. I have some oats that I have actually toasted before you guys came in. You guys might have smelled a little bit of the toastiness in the air. So this is toasted oats. It's been toasted for about 5-10 minutes on the low heat. And I want to cool it down before I make oat milk because oats actually have quite a lot of starchiness in it. And if you don't cool it down and blend it in warm water or when it's still hot, you'll get a lot of slime, and that's not really exciting when you drink something. But the oat milk in like the coffee shops, they have gone through a process to take out that sliminess to help the process. But at home, we can't really do that, but it's actually kind of cool. You can use oat milk to thicken things. When you cook oat milk, it actually turns anything that's you want thickened into like a sauce. So you can use the homemade oat milk with that. And just make sure that you don't burn it, and it'll look just a little bit browner than regular rolled oats. And you just kind of take away the rawness of the oats when you toast it. This process is kind of what I do, but you don't have to toast it if you don't want to. Okay? Have you guys had oat milk in coffees? Yeah, it's usually a sweeter taste, right? Yeah, I like it too. Okay, so the colder the water, the better. This is quite cold, so I just used my tap water, filtered tap water, and this is about 1.5 cups of oats to about 1 liter of water. The less water, the thicker it is, obviously, and the more water, the thinner it is. But I kind of like this consistency. And any blender will do, and just start blending it. So only blend it for about 30 seconds to a minute. The more you blend it, the more heat you're gonna add into the liquid, and the more slime it's gonna create. Right? If you want it to be sweet, you can also add sugar now, or a few dates, or even an apple into it to kind of make it sweeter. But I feel like oat milk is already sweeter than regular milk, so I've cut out sugar in my life. My partner is still working on it, so it's still a little bit of sugar, but no worries. All right, and that's kind of the most I would blend, or else it gets a little bit of slime. If you have one of these guys at home, you can do so, or a pillowcase or a nut milk bag. I actually made some milk yesterday, so it's just drying from washing. This will make it a bit smoother than that. Or if you're kind of, really want it to be really smooth, then you can do both, right? But today we're gonna just do one, depends on how much time you guys have. And you do want to squeeze it a little bit, but the more you squeeze it, also the more slime it will provide. Actually, it's more secure if I do it this way. I have to pour this guy in here. Okay, so I hope you guys see I'm using a sieve, and then I'm putting the nut milk bag in the middle, so it's not gonna tip when I pour this guy into. Get all the residue out of the oats. And it'll be quite a slow process, so that's why we did the oat milk first. Rest it on this side. Okay, so you guys wash your hands, right? One of you want to help me squeeze out this guy, and then someone else, Morgan, you want to do the almond one here? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so what you can do is just take the bag up and then just kind of start squeezing. It doesn't need to be too hard. I can put it here, and go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use the same container for oat milk. We don't have oat or almond allergies here today, so that's fine. And we're going to only use the half a cup of almond milk. And these don't really need to be toasted. They're actually perfectly fine by itself already. There are two kinds of Chinese almonds. One is called a southern almond. Okay. And one is called a northern almond. Usually the southern almond is more popular. You can just ask the people in the store. They have it in T&T. They'll just say Chinese almonds. It's usually just the southern almonds. So I'm going to put half a cup in my blender, and then I'm just going to fill it with about the same amount of water. This guy. Okay, so this is about 750. So I used 1.5 cup of oats. This is about half amount. So out of the oats, a little bit less, but the almonds actually give a really big flavor. So I don't think that you really need to use so many almonds in one almond milk, container. But you can also mix almonds and oats together after you mix the milk, and then it will actually, the oats will give the almond milk a lot of body. You can use it for coffee, you can use it to make oat milk, you can use it to do overnight oats with it, and bubble tea. Do you guys remember your first bubble tea experience?
No, I've had so many. It was so long ago.
Yeah. I think mine was, probably like 12 or 11 or something like that. Is there a favorite one that you go to?
I don't remember the name, but it's in Town.
Oh,
Shiny
yeah.
something. I don't know the name of it. It's been a while since I've been, so I don't even know if they're still there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
That's good.
actually really good already. And then we can just rest it and you can wash your hands for now. And I'm going to get a container for you to rest and put that milk in. So the residue you can use to make cookies with or bread, bake with it. Get everything out of there. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I'm actually going to make some crackers. You can actually mix it with the almond later, and then just you can add an egg or you can see what starches you have, like tapioca starch, to make like a paste, and then you can just put it on top of a parchment paper and then put it in the oven. If you want it sweet, then add something sweet, or you can also add salt to make a salty cracker like that too. Okay, so now we're on to the almonds, and I'm going to get another for the almonds, and we can put it in that guy. Thank you. Okay, so same thing with the almonds. If you want it sweet, just add some dates. The dates will make the almond milk a little bit browner. The apple or like whatever fruits, like pear, you can add into it will not turn it too dark. Okay, so that was it. These two milks will separate though in the fridge. You can just stir it every time you use it. Or you can add a little bit of starch or xanthan gum. Do you guys know what that is? It's like a starch, but you only need to add about a quarter of a teaspoon and it will like help it bind together and not separate as much. Bob's Red Mill makes the xanthan gum. I don't know if you can get it bulk though. I've never seen it bulk. Okay, so I'm going to pour this in. And this is really beautiful. When you squeeze it, you'll smell the really almondy flavor of this. And I mean, after using the Chinese almonds, I don't think I can really go and use any other type of almonds. All right, so those are our milks. And then we can now go and take a look at our monk fruit tea. Okay, so our monk fruit tea now looks like this. I'm going to hold it, it's a little bit warm. We get a oven mitt. Okay, so it already turned the whole water black. So this is what happens with the monk fruit. It turns the liquid black, and we can use this as our food coloring for our tapioca pearls. But I also want you guys to taste it too. So I have some spoons here, and you can use it to taste the monk fruit. Probably do this. It's a bit warm, so be careful. Okay. And it's a bit herbaceous, I guess I would say. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the burner on still though, because for the tapioca pearls, we actually need boiling water to make the pearls. So tapioca starch is actually made from the cassava plant. Yay, you got this. Perfect. Oh, good job. It's okay. So all our milks have been done. Do you like the smell of the almond milk?
That was really
Right? Do you want to smell the almond milk? Yeah, it's very sweet. Right? Yeah. Okay, so we can put the milks on. I guess you can put it on here so it's not in your.
I can put this on.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Cool. And then we'll use that to add to our bubble tea later. But now it's the exciting time because the pearls are always the funnest part, I think. So you have this here. I'm just going to mix it for you and then give it to you to mix here. Okay, because I don't want you to hurt yourself with the tea. Did you guys taste the tea? Was it sweet, right? Yeah. It's actually pretty amazing.
It's almost syrupy.
It was. So as you can see, like I don't need sugar to sweeten anything. The monk fruit is perfect. And it's the same, it actually doesn't raise your blood sugar levels, which is pretty amazing, which is why a lot of people use the monk fruit to make like sugar extracts or sweeteners, basically, because it's okay for like, people with diabetes to eat it. Okay, so the tapioca pearls, if you have sugar at home, you can add about a half a cup of sugar. We're only going to use 1/3 a cup. And then the water is actually 1/3 of that. So it depends on how many pearls you want to use. If you want to use a whole cup, it actually makes a lot of pearls. 1 cup will probably give you 6 different tapioca pearl. Like if you're making at home, you can share it 6 friends. So today, you guys will just be making your own, and I will just use 1/3 of a cup for each of you. That's cool. Do you have a spatula?
I don't.
Because I spilled it. Okay. I'll give you a bigger one. So. All right, so I said it's from the cassava plant or the yucca plant, and these are root vegetables. And grown in South America or Southeast Asia, and they're very starchy and very glutinous, so it's like chewy in texture. Okay, so I'm going to give you one of these guys. Do you want to make black or white? Anybody have a preference?
I'll try the white.
You want to do the white? Okay, here you go. And I guess you
I'll
do the
black.
okay. I mean, later on we'll still share everything. It's not a big deal. And then you can give me both of yours. It's a little bit too much. Have you guys had tapioca starch before, or any tapioca? Have you had there's a food truck called, I think, Cassava or something? No. And they actually use tapioca to make their taco shells. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And don't kind of get mixed up. It's not the glutinous rice or the rice. This is the blue, usually the blue package at TNT, or Bob's Red Mill also makes one. It's a bit more expensive. It depends on where you shop. So if it's Save on Food, it's probably Bob's. And then if it's like an Asian store, it's probably the one from like Asia. All right, so make sure the water is boiling. If it's not boiling, it's not really going to work. And we're going to use a 1/4 cup first. So, for the black food coloring, I'm going to add it in first. So if you don't mix it well in the powder, then it's going to be a lot harder to mix when you add it the water. Okay, so about 1/4 teaspoon is all you need. It'll look gray, but when you cook it, it turns black. Yeah.
What color is it if you don't have the food color?
It's clear. Yeah. So I'm adding just a little bit to this to make it black, and then I will just use a whisk to whisk all the food coloring together. You can also use like a liquid one too. So I'll add water to the black one first, and you need boiling water. So it can be water if you are adding sugar, but since I'm using the monk fruit tea, then I don't really need the sugar. It will look like there's not enough water, but go ahead and mix this guy up well. It is a very hot liquid that we put in, so make sure you're not going to scorch yourself, okay? Okay. And once you pour in the water, you should start mixing right away. Okay, so now I can turn off the monk fruit tea and then use it for my tea later on. Okay, let's see how that looks. Cool. All right, so keep stirring that. And then once you stirred enough, you want to make sure that you are touching it to see if it's cooled down for you to knead it. Yeah. So kind of use your palm to test the temperature, and if it's ready to touch and not too hot, you can squeeze the dough together. Yeah, you can pour it into the working surface or the cutting board that I've given you guys. Okay. Yeah, and then you can squeeze the dough together in your hands. How's that feel? Good. It feels good, right? So roll it around, just squeeze it together, and then you're gonna make. The more you squeeze it, the more you knead it. It's gonna get more like a dough ball. Yeah, is it pretty? Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a little bit here, and then you can just kind of. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little dusting here. You should be fine. Try to touch it if it's too. Is it okay? Because it should feel like a warm, like nice stress ball, I guess.
That's a good description.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that away from you guys. And then maybe you can riff a little bit so I can play with it too. For me, once it gets to that point, yeah, you can give me a little bit of that so I can show you. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so this is the tapioca flour that we've made, and then you're just going to play with it in your hands, and you're going to make a sausage, like a little. If it's too big, you can rip it in half and then make the sausage. Yeah. So what I created is a piece of dough that is long, and then I have given you some knives. And what you want to do is cut these into small little knoblets, I guess. Okay, and then start rolling each one into a ball. So when you cook these guys, it's going to grow about like double in size. So you kind of want to gauge at how big your straw is, because you do want your pearls to fit through the straw. So I basically made my pearls to be like the smallest marble I played with as a kid. That's probably going to be a big too, so you might want to rip a little bit of that out, and then just kind of roll it out, and they become little spears. And then you can just cut as you go. And at this time, you can actually freeze these guys, and then save it for later if you want to make it. How's that going? You can be a little bit rough with it. So it's like, press it down and fold it. And yeah, exactly. And if it becomes a little bit wet, then you get a little bit of powder and just start playing with it.
How do you know when it's done?
So it's really sticky right now, right? So you want to keep adding powder until it's not as sticky.
Or would it be real long?
Yeah, not really. Just another minute should be fine. So these are a little brown because we use the monk fruit, but if you're just using regular flour, it's going to be white.
And that would just be water and tapioca?
And sugar. Yeah, it's usually a bit sweet. But if you don't mind, it's actually, I prefer it not sweet because you can also make the tea sweet.
I feel like it's getting worse.
Okay, well, yeah, you can just roll the whole thing in the flour. Yeah, and then you can start kind of clicking that. Yeah, and that's actually basically it. And that's, you want to you want to play with the dough. It actually feels really cute, feels very kind of dough-boy.
Yeah, like crescent dough.
Yeah, exactly. So there that's it. Yeah, and then you want to get all that off your fingers and then kind of put it in the bowl. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and then just fold it in like that. And then you can start getting some powder on your hands. I'm just going to steal a little bit of yours. And then maybe you can make this in half. It's a little bit easier to roll into a sausage this way. There you go. There's your sausage. And then you can start cutting little pieces and then rolling it in the palms of your hand. You might need some more powder. So you gave me about a quarter of yours, right? And I'm already making 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I have 14 pearls already. And usually they give you, a tablespoon of pearls, right? Per a bubble tea. So making it at home really saves you a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah. You can have bubble tea parties now. Now you know what really goes into it. It's literally just tapioca flour and whatever hot liquid you decide to put in, right? Okay, so after they become balls and pearls, you can put them aside, and you don't mind. It shouldn't matter if they dry out or not; they'll still cook perfectly. And then I'm going to work on the black ones that we had. And this is the funnest part, I think. But it's also fun watching the tapioca pearls turn translucent when you cook it too. Yeah. And in the meantime, you do want to start boiling some water. And we're going to cook the pearls in boiling water. If it's not boiling, then it's not good to use to cook the pearls. I'm going to use the monk fruit tea to cook my pearls. So it's another factor to help the pearls turn darker, right? Okay. Going to see this guy. I'm going to catch all the liquid so I don't get all the monk fruit into my pearl cooking bowl. Okay, so at this point, I can add more water to this. Monk fruit, and then wait for it to boil before we cook the pearls. Those are really big because they're going to be growing twice the size, right? So you do want the straw that I'm giving you. It's a little bit bigger, so you want to kind of cut them into way smaller sizes, yeah. About half the size should be good. I mean, a good thing is you don't actually have to use a straw, I guess. You can just drink it. I do want you guys to taste the younger monk fruit because it's a completely different taste. You'll see why. So all these pearls will take a lot of time. So I guess a lot of people still prefer to get bubble tea from bubble tea places. But at home, you can play with the colors, right? If you get some fruit coloring, you can have red pearls, you can have yellow pearls, you can have green and blue ones. Awesome. And at this point, I want to get some cold water. So once we cook the pearls and you ladle it out, you want to make sure that it kind of lands in some cold water to stop the cooking. And then we can use the pearls to make our bubble tea. It's kind of therapeutic too. You guys ever made dumplings before? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of like that with me. I love making dumplings. It kind of makes my brain shut off a little bit, and I can concentrate in making a lot of dumplings. Okay, so I have the darker ones on one side and the whiter ones on one side. And we're gonna be cooking them soon. I'm gonna turn wash my hands. And then I want you guys to taste the brighter fruit. I'm gonna ladle a little bit into your spoon. Just a little. And let me know if you notice how different this guy is. Okay, just have a little sip. And then we can go back to our black tea. So what a big difference. Our tea has already been steeping for, how long would you say, like 15, 20 minutes, right? Okay, and then I'm just gonna add some cool water to cool it down. I'll just stick it in the fridge. Okay, so let's get some water.
If it doesn't taste the same.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot sweeter. Well, not sweeter, but like, I guess brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, less herbaceous. All right, so are there any questions from anybody who's watching? Well, so stay tuned after the class is over because we'll have Nicole from Liqueur Wellness. So Nicole Nicole from the Claire Wellness. She's going to be teaching a yoga class, a 30-minute yoga class that you can do at the comfort of your own home. So you can get your mats ready and you can put on your own music, I suppose, or she will be playing her music from her studio. And then, yeah, we're gonna have like a relaxing afternoon, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed us. We're gonna do the bubble tea really quickly. So once the water boils, I'm going to put the pearls in. If it's not boiling, it's not going to have enough of that velocity in the pot to kind of cook the pearls correctly. So you always want to make sure that the water is boiling before you add the pearls in. Okay, so I'm going to add I'm just going to collect the white pearls. If you want to kind of put some in here. And then the black ones, I'm gonna put in this guy. And then you can put some in here. And then we're gonna cook it together.
Want all of them in there?
Sure. So it's boiling. I'm just gonna cook some of these guys. And you want to pour it in, and then get one of a ladle like this so you can actually get the pearls from the inside, or if it's a really small pot, then get one of these guys. And when the pearls are cooked, it should float to the top, and it should have like a clear layer on top. And then as you can see, the water is boiling, so it actually, helps the pearls cook. So I'm going to bring you guys closer to the pot. And you can see that the pearls are cooking and boiling, and they're having a lot of fun. It's like hot tubbing. Here. Okay. So, I'm going to wait for the pearls to get a translucent color, or not color, I guess like a look to it. And then we can put it in one of a clear water. You can be sugar water too, it actually helps. That's what they do at the bubble tea places. They put it in like black sugary water. I guess in another pot I can use to cook the white ones in, the black ones in. All right, so see, these are some of the darker ones. They look gray, but once you cook them, they're going to turn black, or a lot darker at least. I'm just waiting for the black burner to boil, and then we can dump the black pearls in. The white ones are actually almost done. I'm going to show you guys when to take it out of the water. Okay, black ones are boiling. This guy. I think it takes a good 5 to 8 minutes for all of it to turn translucent. And then you can save this for about 12 hours in the fridge. Yeah, but if it's more than that, it actually gets starchy, so it's not as chewy. Yeah, it's the chewiest right now. And then as time goes on, the water, it just absorbs all the water and it just gets kind of mushy.
They have somebody in the bubble tea shops just doing this all day.
Yeah, they do batches, yeah. I mean, so the whole day you can make a lot, and then you should last about a good 5 to 6 hours, like chewiness. So, I mean, if you think about it, maybe 2 shifts in a day, so we'll probably just have to make it twice, right?
You don't have like a fancy bubble maker.
Okay, so I'm going to fish these guys out. Actually, I'll show people on screen when to know to fish it out first. So once the pearls are done, it should kind of look like this, and there should be a film of clear that develops on the outside, and that's when it's done, and you can put it in the cold water for it to stop cooking. And that's it for the white ones for now. We have more, I know. And then the black ones in the back, you guys can see they need about another minute or so. They actually are very much almost done also. So we can keep cooking, but I do want to start making our bubble tea. Oops. There we go. The black ones actually cook a lot faster than I thought. Like hand back, so you guys can see the black ones are super black, right? And then yeah, I'm gonna show these guys. So I took some black ones out and they look pretty black compared to the white ones. Because of the monk fruit, the white ones also turn brown. But if you were to not use monk fruit, it's just going to be a clear whitish. Right, so I'm going to get the tea back out from the fridge. And then each of you get one of these guys. Here we go. And then we can make bubble tea. All right. Do you have more? I can cook those for you. And then these white ones are also almost done. Cool. Do you guys have any questions? Nope. Okay, good. Anybody have any questions online? Nope, looks good. So my in-person classes, you can also use your work benefits with, because I'm a registered dietitian. So if you email me your full name, and you know that it's covered by, if registered dietitian is one of the coverages, yeah, we can send you an invoice. The liquid you can also keep. It actually gets thicker each time you use it because the starch from the tapioca actually makes it thicker. Okay. And we have another batch of white ones that are done. So I hope you guys got your yoga mats ready, because Nicole is also coming up with a amazing yoga schedule after this one. Okay, so our brown pearls, I actually like these ones. They're really pretty. I like the brown color. I'm just going to take a little bit stuck in there. So as you can see, the liquid turns quite syrupy after you cook it. Okay, so be careful of the burn. It might be burning if you don't keep an eye on it. And you use this as a sugar syrup too, right? Okay. Oh, that's all of it? Okay, maybe we should just cook it. But you guys can start making your pearls. So if you want to grab some white and some brown, put some pearls in the bottom, and then get some tea. And then you can ladle in your either oat milk or almond milk. I mean, you can put both in one too if you want to. And then there's also some sugar here if you need. Or you can use the monk fruit tea if you don't want sugar. So this is the almond milk, and it's pretty white. And then I have really pretty ladles for, oh, I think that was the oat milk. That's pretty white too. All right, so this is even whiter, the almond milk. Cool. So if you want to wash your hands, I will take care of the pearls. Great. And then, yeah, get the pearls first if you want white ones or both black ones. You can come up over here. And they're quite pretty. So we're going to leave you guys here, and then Nicole can start teaching you guys some yoga. I'm also going to get my yoga mat in the other room ready, and she can take it on from here. I got some tapioca flour on my face. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, info@trunosh.com, and we'll see you next week.